Welcome back to the Pop of the Man podcast. I'm your host Jay. With me today, I have the homie Delon. What's up, Delon?
Assalamu alaikum, brother Jordan.
We got my main man Jaquez, our basketball analyst, return. What up, Jaquez?
What's good? What's good? Rest in peace, King Von.
And we got the boy John with us today, the Murder Mitten Cowboy. What's up, John?
Good, what's good? Rest in peace, Donald Trump.
And you know what we do. We give our takes on basketball, music, and everything in between. This is episode 117 of the Pop of the Man podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to us on streaming service, make sure you give us 5 stars. If you don't already follow us on Twitter, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Podcast the Man. You can find us on Instagram at Pop of the Man Pod. That's a whole lot of stuff I just told you to do. You can pause the episode and go do all that stuff. I would really greatly appreciate that. But if you don't care about none of that, we can get straight into the episode. The first topic of the day, as you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube, John's repping the set, throwing up Joe Biden over there. We just found out today that Joe Biden is officially the president-elect of the United States of America. And I don't really want too much talk about politics. I want to talk about Social Security, healthcare, and anything like that. But one thing that just really, I think, aggravated all of us to our core was Lil Wayne, Lil Pump, Ice Cube. I'm trying to remember who the people on the Democratic side, Jay-Z, Pusha T, just seeing all these rappers. Yeah, Jeezy, not just so much people supporting Trump, but just rappers in general, and seeing them align and seeing them like parade around on stage for the DMC and also for the Republican Party. It just seemed very forced, and I don't quite understand it because like I said, I might be blind to it, but I don't really recall other celebrities of, other pigments just being on stage, or even either other same entertainers within the same industry. Like I don't really ever recall seeing that. So why do you guys think that rappers cosigns are emphasized during presidential debates? And do you guys think that those cosigns actually make a difference? Because I can't imagine anybody watch Joe Biden's campaign the past week and saw 2 Chainz on stage and thought, "Oh wow, titty boy."
Hey, they different.
Disrespectful.
I gotta vote for Joe now. I gotta vote for Joe.
This is the one.
No, I'm saying I can't imagine anybody was on the fence, and he was even a black person. I can't imagine a black person being on the fence and thinking to themselves "Wow, man, yeah, Jeezy from 2006, he rock with Biden. This the one." Or King Clifford from King of the South T.I. So Dylan, what do you think about this, man?
I will say other entertainers of different pigmentations do also shuck and jive for political people.
Facts.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. My thing is I don't get why you would, especially for the Republican candidate, I don't get why you would publicly endorse him. I get most of these celebrities are probably selfish and they understand that the tax plan is going to help them out financially. I get it. But to what do you gain from publicly endorsing this person? You have to know that most of your fan base is black. I mean, I guess now all of a sudden all those white people in Congress listen to Lil Wayne now. They all have a favorite bar from Wayne. Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I think it's more so geared towards the younger guys. I'm gonna go ahead and tell them what they are, dickheads. The stands that are out there in the world. Oh, Lil Pump, this is he wants to, he's with Trump. Yeah, let me go ahead and be with Trump so I can be edgy, so I can be cool. I guess that's kind of the demographic that they're shooting towards when they're advertising to the advertising with rappers and stuff. Of course, got people with brains and minds and who have their own personalities actually look at what the politicians actually doing. So I think that's kind of where they're pointing to. It's kind of just you don't really need it, but hey, and then again, it's also it's also a race thing. Niggas want to see niggas endorsing me, so let me go ahead and get a couple of these higher up niggas to endorse me.
Is that just the highest part of our totem pole, as a black representation? It's let me get some notable black faces. So let me go get rappers. Is that just the highest part of our totem pole? That's so nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. That's what I be telling us, bro. Is rappers and
ball
sports
players
and ball players.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. And Obama.
So, yeah, and that's I think another thing is that like most people in the country are one issue voters on things.
Yes.
So I mean, it only takes your favorite celebrity to point out one issue and you not care about anything else. I don't think that's just a black thing. Like we know that like majority of white people in the South are going to vote on do they want abortion or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it just takes because the average person isn't going to care what politicians say, and they aren't going to take the time out of their day to search for politicians and all that kind of stuff. But if 2 Chainz just happen to pop out and say, "Hey, he don't fuck with blank," then that's the one thing you needed to hear.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to hit some voters.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Jeezy and maybe T.I.
I remember when they shucking and driving for Hillary.
No, they were. They were. It just didn't work.
I'm about to say, I know. Hillary had like Jay-Z and shit like that
for her.
Yeah, and like they were, and I guess like we seen Georgia turn blue, which is kind of unprecedented. Like Georgia isn't typically blue, and maybe T.I. and Jeezy did play a role in that. Maybe they turned the state of Georgia out.
No, that had nothing to do with why that state was blue. The reason that state was blue was because that nigga Trump was just fucking up his entire presidency, and then this whole pandemic was icing on the cake. Him fucking up this pandemic, niggas was like, all right, we got to get this nigga the fuck out of here. Like,
but I mean, this
gotta go.
I mean, it's a lot of states.
That's why that state turned blue.
It's a lot.
Nobody gonna fuck with Cliff.
Stacey Abrams registering everyone.
Okay, yeah. Come I say there's a lot of states that like stayed red, even despite that fact. But yeah, like going back to your point, DeLon, like I don't know why. Like, well, I do know why. Like you said, you like why would someone like Lil Wayne publicly endorse him? But like I said, he has a lot more to gain or keep in his pockets if he even feels like me supporting Trump keeps him in office. But and maybe he thinks to himself like I'm so big I can't fail, so like people gonna still fuck with me anyway because he's already said some crazy stuff anyway, and people kind of still listen to Funeral even despite the Black Lives Matter comments he's made in the past. So he's like, regardless, man, white people, black people listen to my music. So if I lose the black people, but I keep the white people, I haven't lost anything. It's probably what he's thinking. And in his mind, and he kind of got a point because you look at the presidential race. Trump had like 69 million votes. That's a lot of people that could listen to Lil Wayne music if they chose to. Like that's a huge fan base he could tap into if people on the Joe Biden side said, I ain't rocking with Lil Wayne anymore, which I don't feel like everybody on that side.
People not gonna fuck with him though. Because they not gonna fuck with him.
I don't know, Jacquez. As you know, growing up here in Mississippi, you see like a random pickup truck blasting rap music all the time. They be playing stuff like Wayne, Young Boy, like they play, Them
niggas, those are the guys who are voting blue. The ones who are some dickheads are the ones.
I'm gonna be honest. That ain't. Man, niggas roll around with that Confederate flag playing Boosie out they truck down on the coast.
I'm gonna say, don't sorority houses. Sorority houses
what's that house?
Campus. They be bumping the rap music too. They had 2 Chainz. Wait, 2 Chainz came. Didn't 2 Chainz come on campus?
I don't know. I know Wiz came.
Yeah, Wiz came. I heard Key Glock came recently.
Yeah, Key Glock did come.
But that's my point. Like they listen to that stuff, and all of them ain't Democrats.
But there's not. I'm saying that's not gonna make that's not gonna make a guy who listens to Sweet Home Alabama just because Lil Wayne, this random nigga with dreads falling out his head said, "Hey, I fuck with Trump too," and that gonna make him say, "Hey, let me go listen to this nigga music. Let me see what he talking about. Maybe this guy's that's not gonna happen. Especially not for the super conservative white person."
Well, I also want to say this before Lil Wayne came out with those statements, we shouldn't have been listening to Lil Wayne anyway. He's kind of past his prime anyway. Funeral wasn't
kinda.
Yeah, Funeral was Carter 4 was cute, but yeah, I don't know. It was just very jarring. Maybe it's like I'm pretty sure it's like this all the time because like you said when Hillary was in office or when she was running for office, Jay-Z was pushing her pretty hard. Braun was pushing her pretty hard, but it just like it's really struck a chord with me. It felt like I saw a lot more rappers during this campaign trail than I usually do, and I was just sitting there thinking to myself like, why? Because like I can't imagine DeLon explained why, but like it just didn't really make much sense to me. I couldn't imagine like just seeing a rapper get on stage and say, "Yeah, vote for this person," and I'm like, well, that's it. Like that as an undecided voter, I couldn't imagine why their cosign would make the difference. And also, Jacquez, you said
it's the
like,
younger
the younger generation. Guys. But like Lil Pump fan base, like how young we talking are they? Are they even able to vote? Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't
Like
think it's more like you got to think about like my brother age, Cat Dog age, like 18 to 19 to 20. Like
yeah,
they're still pretty, immature. They're still, very
yeah,
impressionable. You can still influence them a lot. And then also, I think it also boils down to, like you said, was that like the pinnacle of black? When you think about it, like me and my friends, we talked about it, like who are the top 5 most famous black people in America? Like,
yeah,
I guess in the fucking planet, honestly.
yeah.
It's probably Obama, Michael Jordan, LeBron, shit, probably Drake, and probably Floyd. Off the top of my head, what are all of them besides Obama?
Yeah, I was about to say maybe not Floyd, but definitely the first 4. I'd probably say definitely top 5. Also, there's only like one real Lil Pump stan above the age of like 20, and that's Cord. I want to point that out too. Like he ain't got that big.
He ain't even here to fight back.
He ain't here to fight back. I was hoping I could bring that up to him. Cord,
Okay, I think Lil Pump was a bad example. Let's say
no, but
I
I'm
don't know,
saying,
Young Boy.
no, okay,
Like Young Boy, the Young Boy's fan base is around there. Young Boy was like, yeah, man, go vote for Biden.
no, I ain't gonna hold you.
And then smoke a cigarette, and then niggas, niggas be flying to the ballot to the booth.
Nah, you're right. Like a Young Boy endorsed Trump, I guarantee young niggas would have been voting for him. I guarantee it. Like I guarantee it. That would have been that would actually swung some votes. That might have swung a state, to be real with you. I definitely can see that. Like Lil Pump was just so perplexing to me. I'm like, I don't know what Trump don't know. He don't know nothing about Lil Pump. I'm pretty sure his team don't either. So I'm like, I don't know what made them think that like Lil Pump out here gonna like make somebody want to vote for them, because he don't even have a fan base himself. Like niggas ain't buying Lil Pump music, ain't streaming Lil Pump. Like that's what blew my mind. But regardless, Trump is gone. Biden's and Kamala are in office. Kamala are in office. I don't know how you say her name. And I guess we'll just see how the next 4 years go, because I'm not terribly optimistic. I just can't imagine it's worse in the past 4 years. Could be.
Somebody said it best on Twitter. Biden's gonna have a really forgettable year as president, which is cool. That's fine. His last 4 years have been fucking wild. Like some of the literally has been wild as fuck. So. Going back to that normal racism might not be that bad, Jay.
No. A forgettable 4 years.
A classic impression.
A forgettable 4 years from a president is better than 4 terrible years from a president. So that's why I said I'm all right. It's just this is gonna be kind of like a gap year, a gap 4 years, just to hold us over until we actually have a stronger candidate that can actually do something important. But
Kanye 2024.
Hey man, imagine how different this year would have been if we had anybody besides Donald Trump as our president, and we just actually shut down for 2 weeks in March, and and that's all we had to do. Then we could go places and have concerts and sports and all that kind of stuff. J. Cole,
Drake, and Kendrick were all supposed to drop this year, and we didn't get none of that because of Donald Trump. I want y'all to know that we didn't get those 3 albums this year because they were scared to release because of COVID. If we had shut down back in March, we would have been straight by like May, June, and we could have got all those albums in this 4th quarter. Now we got to wait. Now we definitely got to wait until January of 2021 to get Drake's album. And I can't imagine Cole or Kendrick releasing in December, because most rappers don't release in December. So we won't get them until like the spring and probably the summer. So blame Donald Trump one last time. That's Donald Trump's fault we didn't get those 3 albums, and we probably get a lot more music and things this year. And the fact that the NBA is starting on December 22nd, the NBA.
Nice segue. Look at this guy's a pro, man. This guy's a pro.
The NBA announced it. Well, I think they set forth a plan. I think they're still voting. I think they're voting on the collective bargaining agreement still. I think they got to vote on that Monday. But I think the NBA, National Basketball Association, Players Association, and NBA have voted so that the league will start on December 22nd. It'll run to like sometime in like June. And I think the finals will end sometime in July, right before Tokyo's Olympics, so the players can still participate in the Olympics. I believe they want to. Also, so they don't have to compete against Olympics on airtime. And so they won't fall into like August, September, and October and have to battle NFL, MLB, and all those other sports for Showtime. So they're going to start December 22nd. They're going to have a 72-game season. The players were pushing for starting on Martin Luther King Day in January, like January 18th. There was going to be a 60-game season. But there was a lot of money implications going into it. The owners were like, well, if y'all started on January, play only 60 games, it's not going to satisfy the TV deals. we're going to lose probably $500 million or close to $1 billion if you guys don't start on December 22nd. So I guess it kind of forced the players' hands. Guys, do you feel like this is too early? Because the Lakers and Heat just stopped playing. Like I think the last game was like sometime like around October 12th. So they only get like a month. They only get really again like a month and a half of break because training camp's gonna have to start on December 1st. So and then I think I don't even think there's gonna be a preseason. I think they're gonna have training camp from December 1st down to like December 22nd, and then the regular season is gonna start. So I don't even think there's gonna be a preseason. Do you guys like this quick turnaround, or do you feel like the NBA is making a big mistake by doing this?
I need to do a little bit more research on the lockout season and like what went down then and how like the revenue and all that stuff. Cause that's like that's basically what this is. I don't know how I feel about the 72. I feel like they're forcing 72 game season. I feel like that 60 mark would have been a little bit more reasonable. And then at the end of the day, I don't know. My thing is how will they fit like this year's free agency and all that stuff, like in the draft, and then all that good stuff. Like, are they going to be able to fit all that into this short period of time? So as far as like player development and growth, they had 3 months off. So shit, that is what it is.
So the draft is supposed to be like November 12th, I think, which means that free agency is going to have to start like a week after that, like November 19th. And that means free agency is only going to last from like November 19th to December 1st. So free agency is only going to be like 2 weeks compared to like the months and stuff. They have people to sign. So like it's going to be a quick turnaround. And I kind of feel really bad for like rookies because you're going to get drafted on like November 12th. And then like a month and a half later, you're going to be in an NBA game where like in the past, you got drafted like in June. What's it, June? The draft usually is? Yeah, you get June, you get Summer League. Then you get to work on your game like from August. Then September comes. You got like a whole month of training camp. You got preseason games. You're getting drafted November 12th. You're going to training camp that next month, and then you're going straight into the season. No G League, none of that. So that's a big turnaround too. Don, how do you feel about this, man? This quick turnaround.
If they at least get rid of that until at least MLK Day, to where you can't get penalized for sitting down. Cause like it's like that balance I was talking about a couple episodes ago. Like teams that didn't make the playoffs would, if we wait until MLK Day, hadn't played basketball in 10 months. And the teams that made the playoffs and made it further, if they just allowed to sit, then I don't really see a problem with it. 72 games and the play-in tourney is ambitious. Because I think the real priority, one of the big priorities, should be making sure to, instead of just putting it back to get as many games as we can, try to get as close to the normal season as possible, because we do have things like free agency, and we do have things like these college players need to know what they're doing or not. They don't need to be drafted in August. Like if they're going back to school's starting like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So if we can move, all that stuff that we can move back, a shorter season probably would have been better. But the start dates, I like. Play-in tourney, I love the play-in tourney. Probably should have held on to it until next season, but I'm sure it was very successful for them. But I'm here for the bubble. I love the bubble.
I don't think they could. I don't think there's going to be a bubble though. I think they're going to go to stadiums. So like I think they're going to play in actual stadiums at like 20% capacity. That's what they're pushing for. Like they're definitely going to play in arenas. Like they're not doing a bubble again. Them players are not going back to that damn bubble first and foremost. And then in fact, there's all 30 teams that can't afford to do it. So it's definitely not going to be a bubble. They're going to be in stadiums. How well is this going to work? That remains to be seen. Actually, don't remain to be seen. We see with the NFL, it's not going to go well. It's not going to work. You see it with just anything. Like if you don't adhere to COVID, you're going to get people sick, and that's going to be a whole nother thing. But I think that they kind of got to let players. I think they kind of got to let players sit. Like I don't think. I don't think they can.
And I'm not going to lie. I did read a report that a lot of the free agents have already like kind of under the table like, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna sign with you, and then the first day, kind of like they always do, they already know. And then the first day, like 80% of the free agents go on ahead and sign with whoever they're gonna sign with. I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen as far as that. So I wouldn't really, the only people really taking L's with this situation are the rookies, like you said, because I didn't even think about like summer league and training camp and then all that preparation and time they get to kind of get their feet, because all the time they just been doing one-on-one training so that they don't mess around and get hurt before the draft or whatever. So yeah, I do think 72 games. That's how many games do we usually get after Christmas?
It's less than 72 because you don't play just 10 games before Christmas. So Usually,
That's what I thought. I thought it was like
yeah.
2 games with Christian. We started like early October last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we started early October, so they play games in like they played late October. It was like the last week, maybe the week before in October they started the season, and then they played through November into December. So you play at least maybe close to 20 to 25 games, maybe close to 30. Yeah, 20 to 25 games before Christmas. So they got jam-packed games. You mentioned the lockout season last time, Jarquiz. You probably don't remember too much about like the scheduling, but I remember reading that during that lockout season they had back to back to back. So they had games that they had teams that were playing 3 games in 3 nights to make sure they got all those games played in that season. So expect a whole lot of back to backs in this new season that we're about to have, and I think that's also going to be a major problem because I think they, like DeLon said, don't find players for sitting in like the first month up until MLK Day. I don't think they should find players for sitting at all this season. Like I think there's something they just need to abolish because with there being no preseason and with there being such a short training camp and the fact that a lot of players are probably going to go to the gym for like the first time ever in like November because some places they won't even allow people to like train and stuff like that. Expecting to be in NBA shape and not get hurt, it's going to be a tall task. Like I think we're going to see a lot of freak injuries. I hope not, but I feel like we're going to see a bunch.
I mean, we've already seen it in the NFL with no preseason and shortened off season. A lot of the biggest names, went down by week 3, week 4, and it's still only, the trade deadline just passed this past week, so we're only halfway through the season. So I mean, shit, for anybody who watches football, like if you look at the injury chart, you look at the injury list for the San Francisco 49ers, everybody
long as hell.
Everybody named Mama hurt in San Francisco. So
Cowboys on their 5th quarterback. Oh yeah, their 5th string quarterback right now.
Yeah, the Cowboys too. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to let them cook on that sitting thing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the biggest guys don't play for like the first couple weeks, because just and at the same time it's like the NBA should be cool with that because God forbid, knock on wood, but could you imagine if LeBron fucked around and did something on opening night?
Got hurt.
NBA teams can't afford that like NFL teams can. NFL teams have like 2 or 3 bigger names sprinkled throughout. Exactly. If I mean, technically the Lakers could afford for LeBron to sit and have some other people because they're the Lakers. But like the Kings, like if De'Aaron Fox went down game 1, like that kind of stuff, they can't. Some teams can't afford it.
But I'll say this: they shouldn't be mad about it anyways, because it's the reason why they got mad at players for sitting was because these fans paid to watch you play. I mean, if it's only 20% capacity, I mean, fuck, what that's not much revenue. I mean, unless the tickets are stupid high. So shit. I mean, I don't think this season. I think it'd be very understandable why.
Well, they're also
let players sit or whatever.
But they're also playing for a TV deal, so they got to make sure the ratings are high enough to warrant them getting the deal that they want to get. Because like they play these 72 games, stars sit in the ABC, the ESPN televised games, like the primetime games. If people are sitting and nobody's tuning in, well then the TV companies could lowball the NBA and be like, well, nobody watched y'all games this season. Nobody watched y'all games in the playoffs and the finals last year. And then the revenue that they end up getting from that TV deal might be substantially lower than what it should be. So that's why they wanted 72 games to make sure that they get enough games on TV as possible to justify the TV deal they're going to try to sign at the end of this season, because it's time for that now.
Well, that'll be on them then. That's scheduling. All right. Well, let's schedule. We know niggas want to see Kawhi and LeBron play. Let's not put Lakers versus Clippers on a back-to-back, and it'd be the end of the back-to-back, and in the game before that it'd be Lakers versus Kings and Clippers versus Jazz. Not Jazz, but Magic. I might give a fuck about them 2 games. So it's all about scheduling. Like if you're gonna do that, you got to be real strategic about how you schedule these 72 games.
I can't tell you how
players not to sit.
I can't tell you how often like last season where Kawhi was like a major Clipper Western Conference power game was attached to a back-to-back, and like the Clippers had decided should we play Kawhi during the easy game and get the easy W, or she'll be playing during the harder game and try to win that, and then try to win the easy game without him. And I was thinking to myself, and then like one of those games would be like on ABC, like the Western Conference game at ABC. I'm like, why did they make this game on TV? Like, why did they even schedule this as a back-to-back? It makes no sense. You know that Kawhi Leonard has a degenerative calf. And by the way, I'm mentally preparing myself for Kawhi to play 30 games this season. There's just no damn way he's going to be playing like 4 games in 5 nights. There's just no possible way that's going to happen. So it's going to be an adjustment. As a basketball fan, it's always fun to watch basketball, but at the core of it, the NBA rushed it. I understand why they had to rush it, but it's not going to go over well with COVID, people getting sick, people getting injured, and rookies not being able to get acclimated, people resting throughout the season. People try to say the bubble was an asterisk. This season going to look even weirder, like in retrospect, when people go back and like look at things like, oh, like such and such played 40 games in the 72-game season, even though he didn't get hurt, or, oh, wow, there was like 5 of the top 15 players in the league are hurt in this season. That's strange. And there's going to be a lot of weird stuff going on this season. It's going to be strange. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it.
Question. Do y'all think that the way this season is about to go about will leave room for a super unpredictable team from the bottom to have a really deep playoff run, possibly win it? Because let's say LeBron and AD sit out the first 20 games, sets the Lakers back a little bit, and allows some other teams that probably wouldn't have beat up on those types of teams, those playoff teams, a good little run.
I think it's going to definitely benefit the younger teams because home court advantage away, like that stuff matters. And if there's nobody in the stands to influence that, you're going to see teams who generally struggle on the road playing just like it's at home, like we saw inside the bubble. A team like the Phoenix Suns, who I think are already poised to have a pretty good season this upcoming season. If you eliminate
Booker arrested,
if you eliminate away court, the away advantage, that's going to benefit guys like that a lot. And like you said, they're going to capitalize on the fact that they're young. They're not going to have to rest players as much, so they're going to be nice where Lakers and Clippers are resting people, and the entire Suns roster is going to play, and they're too good to not play your best players against and win. So they're going to win those games. And I feel like they're going to guys like that. Maybe the Grizzlies, but they're going to be. I haven't had an update on Jaren Jackson's leg, but teams like that who run and play hard are going to. I ain't gonna lie,
man. I think the Bulls going to have a breakout season this year. I like the pieces that they got. I like all the players they got. They got a new coach. Know what the fuck he doing. I feel like Kobe White's going to have a big year, so I could definitely see them being. That's my dark horse team to make the playoffs.
Also, the Hawks too. That's another team that's young. Like teams that are young and can afford to just run nonstop, like without stopping. Like teams like that are going to benefit a lot from the fact that the older teams are like, well, we got to rest our best players or older guys to make sure, like the vets. Like younger guys aren't going to be resting like that. They're just going to play every game, and they're going to.
You're right, because
depending on what happens with Brandon Ingram, I see
Pelicans doing that.
Pelicans. I see the Pelicans starting off like 15-5, depending on what happens with Brandon. And then as soon as everybody else comes back, they kind of get smacked down a little bit. But they might make the playoffs.
No, I respect. And then another thing is how AAU ball is played. That just kind of benefits like the younger players. Like they used to playing, a game at 8 a.m. and then the game at 12, and then that was just 2 years ago they was doing that. So they'll definitely be able to do a game a night for out of 5 nights. They played 3 games or whatever. I feel like the younger players should be able to do that pretty easily. So that also goes to your point, DeLon.
Give me a percentage from 0 to 100. How in shape will Zion be on opening night of the NBA season?
A percentage.
The way I hear.
Give me the bottom and the. Are we considering last year? Like
okay.
What was the percentage last year?
Let's see. Like to give you a basic, he clearly wasn't in shape in the bubble. We'll say the bubble, he'll say like 40%. I'm gonna say this: will he be on a minute restriction to start the season? Let me start there. That's how out of shape he was. He was on a minute restriction. Do you think he'd be on a minute restriction game 1 of the NBA regular season? That's a better question.
No, I don't think. Well, I don't know, because it's a weird season. It's gonna be a weird season, so shit. Probably everybody might be on fucking minutes restriction because there's no preseason.
That's fair.
But so assuming that this is normal, I don't think so because they got eliminated pretty early in the bubble. They got like June, was it May?
Yeah, I mean they got.
Man, New Orleans has not been closed down for COVID. I'll say that New Orleans has not been closed down.
They got eliminated in like July, but
they got eliminated in July. Was it that late?
Yeah, they was in the bubble.
No, I didn't know that. Damn,
The bubble game started in July, so like they got eliminated then. But like even though they was like fighting for a playoff spot, they weren't really trying to fight. Like much, Zion was barely playing. He was out of shape, and it was like, wow, this is pretty sad. But even like during the regular season when he finally came in to play, like he was on a minute restriction. Like he just never stopped being on one. I imagine being a number one pick, what we think Zion's going to be, he's going to actually come into camp and actually be in shape. I would hope, but some tell he's not going to be in shape. Game 1 season, I say he plays around 28 minutes. He ain't gonna play. He's not gonna play starter. He's gonna play around 28 minutes, and it probably won't be until maybe a month, 2 months in where he started like regularly playing starter minutes. But
I can see that for everybody though. Honestly, just because there's no preseason, there's just such a short turnaround. I can see LeBron only playing like 28 to 29 minutes a game, and everybody just to make sure.
I'm gonna say this: LeBron is chasing a lot of ghosts, and he needs every game he can get to get these records. Like I think the Lakers calling a bluff. I think they was really saying like, yeah, some of these stars are gonna show up. I guarantee you LeBron's gonna play every game as long as he can to get so he can become the all-time scoring leader. He ain't gonna sit with like 25 minutes if he can get more points. Because he ain't do it this year. Like the Lakers be beating up on people and like he wouldn't sit. That nigga keep playing. But
it depends on who they get in free agency, to be honest, or through trade. If they can swing that mystical Chris Paul deal that everybody keeps talking about.
They don't need that. I don't think so.
I think they do. They gonna need a playmaker to replace Rajon. But what you gonna have to give up to get that nigga? I said what you have to do to get that nigga? Nah. I mean, I'd rather them shoot for that Bradley Beal or that Oladipo or somebody of that nature.
Brad Beal's less expensive than Chris Paul to you?
No, sir. Depot coming to Milwaukee, sir.
I think all that is just unrealistic.
Say that one more time, DeLon.
I said, is Brad Beal cheaper for the Lakers than Chris Paul to you?
I want to say Brad Beal is making.
Oh, not like financial wise. I'm talking about get.
Yeah, it's Washington.
They need Kuzma.
Not fair. Yeah. Like I mean, they only reason they got AD is because they had to offload all those terrible young players the Lakers had, and the Washington Wizards took all four of them, so that the Lakers could get AD. So never underestimate their ineptitude. But let's go on to the next topic. We've been here a while. I want to talk to you guys. Who do you guys think was the rap MVP? This has been a very weird year with a bunch of with a lot of people who we expected to release. I said earlier, like Kendrick, Drake, and Cole didn't get a chance to drop albums, but there are some people who did manage to shine this year. Who is the person, the woman, man? Who do you guys feel like stole 2020 in terms of music?
Far as music, I probably would go with Lil Baby. But far as like rap just becoming a star, probably Meg. Meg had some hits with some pretty big names in the what's the name? It didn't hold Tory Lane scandal, kind of even propelled her even higher in her stardom or whatever. She blew up. Like she's a household name now. You know what I'm saying? Like simple. But far as strictly music, I got to give it to Lil Baby.
Let me see. I think. Meg did manage to get a couple of number one singles this year with her remix with Beyonce, which is major. The song she did with Cardi B, which was WAP, which was major. Lil Baby had a very, very good album that people have been talking about all year long. In My Turn. And I feel like he turned himself into a star. Like I feel like people like, the Ryan's Atlanta based, the Southern based, a lot of people already rock a Lil Baby, but I feel like he turned himself into a national star. Maybe not the level of Meg or even the level of the Baby, but I feel like the music he's actually putting out with his ascension could warrant him being like the MVP. So I feel like that's probably who I would pick. But even then, like I was like looking at the charts, and I was like, damn, the Baby be selling, boy. Like
he do.
The Baby be doing numbers. I was like somebody had brought up. I was talking about like how female rappers are taking over this year, and I was talking about how like there's like five Billboard number one songs that featured a female rapper. And I'm like, so what? I'm like, that don't know. Like rappers don't really get number ones at all. So I was like looking up to see how many number ones this year came from a rapper, and I said, wait a minute. The Baby got a lot of number ones. Him and Roddy Ricch, which we kind of forgot. The Box came out this year, didn't it?
Yep.
The box came out this year, or was it like end of last year?
Yeah.
It was
I
one
think
of the two. It was
beginning-
like either December 2019 or it was like
January. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
early.
Yeah, we forget Roddy Ricch was running up the charts at the beginning of the year, and he kind of just hadn't really done anything since. So I wouldn't say he was the MVP, but he has. I think he is on that song with the baby, where the baby was like on number one, like the Rockstar song, the one he's like, when like he's like getting arrested and shit on the ground. I think that's a music video. But
hey, shout out Mario Judah though.
Nah, let's not.
Hey,
let's not
He
shout
nice,
out.
nigga.
Let's not shout out.
y'all some haters, bro.
Hey,
Mario Judah's version better. That shit heat.
Mario Judah's version of what is better?
Rockstar.
Really?
So much better.
Dylan, can you
You feel
co-sign
the
this?
passion.
Can
You really feel the passion in it. Yeah. I'm with
Hey,
you.
that boy Vibrato be going stupid. They'd be like, hey man, that boy be going crazy.
I thought to myself, like, what's this next song gonna sound like? But then like that's kind of dumb. Cause I'm like, well, you know what? That's probably not his first song. He probably got more music, so I probably should go check it out. Just because I'm curious what the rest of his stuff sounds like more than anything. But no, Mario Judah is not the MVP, but he might have a better version of Rockstar than the baby, which I wouldn't.
I didn't say it was MVP. I didn't say it was MVP. I'm just
He
saying.
just said shout out. He just said shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
Shout
Shout out to that guy. I respect it.
Hey, maybe next year though. Maybe Mario Judah will be MVP next year.
Yeah, man. You know, he seemed like a young star getting interviewed by your boy Jacquez. Yeah. 2 young stars on the rise. Meg, like I said, I think I would probably say Meg more so if she had actual music. Like her actual Sugar EP got largely glossed over, so I couldn't call her the MVP of this year, because of the fact that like her biggest triumphs have been those singles.
She's got that Rihanna effect though, like how people love the person that Meg is. Just probably much more than they even probably love her music. Honestly,
no, that's 100%.
So if we're going with MVP.
True.
If we talking about MVP, you know, shit, MVP ain't just stats. Like the nigga with the best stats don't always win the MVP. Word to Steve Nash, shouts out to Cam, Suns Nation, baby. So shit. It's just who had the biggest star, who's the biggest star, and the nigga was the biggest star out there.
Let's give it Drake again.
Hey,
let's give it Drake again.
Jacquez, that was a chef's kiss. That analogy was on point. I gotta do that.
Finally give me a clip. I finally give me a clip on the page. Let us see it.
Clip it.
Delon, who you think is the MVP of this year?
I'll probably give it to Lil Tecca. I'm just joking. I really.
He's actually decent. He's decent. He's actually decent.
I'm not mad at Lil Tecca. I honestly don't have an MVP. I feel like easy answer, Lil Baby. I don't listen to Lil Baby's music like that. You know, I don't really necessarily gravitate towards it. I do appreciate it sometimes, but you know, I mean, honestly, nobody really impressed me all that much this year.
What about Butcher nigga?
The Butcher nigga.
Yeah, but so my problem with this year, the really difficult thing about it is like it felt like there were 2 years in 1 year. Like I feel like everything before June was just a completely different year, and everything that was released before June didn't exist after June, and everything that was released after June, that's when the actual good music started coming out, and nothing really. All the good stuff happened in September, October. But honestly, I didn't really have like the people who had the super successful singles didn't have the super successful albums or the good albums. The people that had the really good albums didn't make any noise outside of their current fan base.
Yeah.
So it really, I don't know. I mean, I might say, feels wrong. I think my heart says Drake.
Okay.
Hey, I respect
I think my heart
I'll
says
take it.
Dark Lane demo, the number one single at the top of the year. Laugh Now, Cry Later at the bottom of the year. I listen to Dark Lane demo, and it gets better every time I listen to it. But again, even Drake doesn't impress me enough to be like,
he dropped
it's
what's name
Drake.
too this year. This the
Care package.
all his care package. He dropped
Yeah,
care
yeah,
package this year too.
And then
So he put up-
the
popping
singles
the whole
too.
year.
The singles too.
yeah, he put up MVP numbers. That felt like an entire 2 years. I don't like that feels like so long ago.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Like everything before March, like before the shutdown went down, I feel like a completely different. Like I feel like that belongs to 2019. Things that happened in like January, February, beginning of March, it all feel like that belongs to like 2019. And I kind of forgot about Care Package. I completely forgot about Dark Lane demo tapes. Like that completely glossed over my
Nah, that
mind.
shit flames, Jordan. I ain't gonna stunt. I be hearing that
Man,
shit a
every time I
lot.
go back to it, my boy. But yeah,
That
I
shit
don't.
hit.
It's a weird year. Like I wouldn't like. It feels like the election. Like I'd have to like do a recount. We'd have to look at it a little closer.
No,
I
no,
think
no.
he had life's good. Then he had Laugh Now Cry Later. Like yeah, some pretty big
I
songs.
mean, no,
I ain't
no,
gonna
no,
stunt.
no. I said it's kind of like LeBron case. LeBron can put them MVP numbers, but you don't feel like giving it to him because LeBron ain't really trying. It's kind of like that with Drake. Like Drake is just breaking all these records, but he ain't give his whole heart yet. Like Care Package was repackaged songs. Dark Lane demo tapes are literally demos, and then like Last Night Cry Later is just a single for his actual albums coming in 2021. So you're like, he ain't really trying, but the songs are doing music. I mean, the music is doing numbers, so it's like maybe he is the MVP. So as always, the Drake LeBron analogy continues.
Huge facts.
I'm gonna talk to you guys about your favorite pro debuts, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, badminton, tennis, golf, or even just like in music in general. What is your favorite debut by anyone?
Michael Carter with
No, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I thought about that game. When I made this topic, I thought about that game. Mike Carter Williams versus the Miami Heat drops a triple-double, almost a quadruple-double, drops a triple-double in his first game to beat the Big Three Heat. That was a hilarious night.
Man, the biggest pump fake in sports history.
Big old facts. Lonzo Ball without an abusive father. But
Wilding.
Can't shoot, pass, rebound. It's kind of score.
All right.
Oh, nice skin.
All right.
Can't shoot. But all right. I mean, the Frank Nicolino. If people are mad about the Frank Nicolino, I made my. They're mad about that comparison. Technically, my
Frank Nicolino.
Oh no, your knees on Jordan's head. I ain't gonna lie to you.
People are mad about that, but technically, Michael Carter Williams is the more fair. Is a more fair comparison. He won Rookie of the Year. Lonzo Ball didn't do that, so I should have made that. I should have made that comparison and been actually more realistic.
Jordan, real disrespectful in this motherfucker. I see.
Oh God.
Hey man, niggas got to earn it. Anyway, probably my favorite musical debut. It's the album we're gonna talk about on our album club / book club. It's gonna probably be Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. Just that album is amazing for an artist who hadn't put out any body of work before. And the fact that it's so unique, it's so true to him that I can't think of an album kind of like it or even similar to it from another artist. He came out of nowhere with his own style, flavor, doing the kick push, I'm a skater type thing, but also talking about societal issues while also just spitting and barring up and like going toe to toe with Hove on his first album. In my opinion, out rapping him on his idol on that album, as well as just the emotional connection that he created on that album with a couple of songs like He Say, She Say and American Terrorist. It was a great album, executed really well. That's probably my favorite musical debut. Pro debut, most of the rookies I really like, or like most of the
players I like. Can we say it more like a season? Because it's hard to pick, because like they might not went crazy that first game, but like maybe game 7 they went fucking bananas. Like it's easier for me to.
Okay, so you want to say debut rookie season or something like that? Favorite rookie from a player?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot more easier. I was gonna cheat. I was gonna say my favorite debut is Kawhi Leonard debuting as the Los Angeles Clippers and beating the Lakers on that opening day, because so many people felt like we were gonna lose. We didn't have PG, and he turned up in that first game to secure the W. Which that don't matter now because we lost in the grand scheme of things. But I thoroughly enjoyed that win and that W. So Jacquez, who's a player whose rookie season that you like very, very much enjoy? One of your favorite rookie seasons that you witnessed, like actually witnessed?
Man, my guy Trae Young, man. The guy came in, people doubted him. He's small. Oh, he's too small. He ain't gonna be able to do that. But he's the only person I ever seen go from college to the NBA, and his game never changed. He does the same shit he was doing back in 2016. He's doing in 2020, and nobody can stop it. And I love that about him completely. He went crazy, had a bunch of 30 and 10 games, was putting up crazy numbers, against the top point guards, best defenders every night. He's getting his. So shouts out to Trae. It kind of sucks that he just so happened to be drafted with like probably the greatest player since LeBron James in the same draft class. But shouts out to Trey, you know, Ice Trey, I'm with you. And as far as musically, I ain't gonna stunt Jordan. When was that Saba's first album? Not Care for Me, but
The one before that,
Bucket List.
your
Bucket
Bucket List.
List.
That was not his first album, actually. It was
That
like,
was his first album.
his first album was like Comfort Zone. I didn't even know that was him when I listened to it, and like I just like realized it later on. That might have been a mixtape. I don't know if Bucket List was his debut album or not, but we'll cheat and say Bucket List was his debut album. Then just
That was probably Bucket List, man. I was when you put me on like that shit. This shit heat. It's that real heat. So I'm gonna go with Saba, Bucket List, and Trey Young.
not DeLon, but John, you mentioned earlier, like, oh yeah, can I bring up baseball when we do this topic?
Yes,
I'll be real with you, fam. If your favorite pro debut or rookie season from a baseball player, I'm not gonna know anything about it. If I'm about to act like I do. So
Hey man, hey, it's fine. It's fine. You know, I ain't gonna harp too much about it. But I think like when I thought of the topic, I was just driving. Like I don't know, it just popped in my head. But I thought of the debut, and that's what made me text y'all and say, hey yo, you know, I think this would be a good topic. But Steven Strasburg plays for the Washington Nationals.
Oh yeah.
Coming out, he was one of the what?
Jordan has no idea what you're talking
about.
Jordan has no idea what you're talking about.
I'm be quick.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about, John.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about too, John. I know you're talking about.
So for him, it was like he was one of the like most hyped like pitching prospects to ever happen. So he went number one to the Nationals. I think he was in the minor leagues for maybe a year or two or something like that. He finally get called up. Man, that nigga went stupid, bro. That man struck out 14 batters, bro. Like I remember watching that game because I'm obviously a big baseball guy.
That's a lot, Jordan.
No. Yeah.
But he went. I remember watching that game, and I remember when he got drafted. I was like, yo, this dude gonna be the truth. And I remember watching that game, and I was like, yeah, he the one. He the one. Unfortunately, you know, injuries happen. Unfortunately, you know, he's still a solid pro. And then, you know, the Nationals won the World Series like years ago, or no, last year actually. Last year they won it last year.
I think he's still 2 years ago.
Yeah. So you know, shouts out him for getting that ring, but it's unfortunate. He only ended up being. I mean, he's still in the league, but he only ended up being like a 3-time like All-Star. But that's one of those things. Like, what if? Because like that dude honestly probably could have been one of the greatest pitchers of this generation, just by like if we talking about just straight arm talent. That dude had some mean stuff. But to keep it on brand, I would probably say my. It's hard. I mean, I guess probably just with recency bias, but one that I thoroughly enjoyed was Zion's debut. And like for Zion, it was kind of like he pretty much. So with Zion, it's like, you know, people didn't think he was gonna be able to, you know, do the things he did in college. You know, bully niggas. You know, especially when the real heights came out. Turned out, you know, that nigga like, you know, 6'6.5", you know, but. Man, he was making grown men look like babies, and then he was showing he had a little touch from outside too. That I like I said, it's probably recency bias, but that I thoroughly enjoyed Zion's debut. It's, you know, especially obviously Zion because of so how hyped it was too. What were you about to say, Jordan?
As you know, our resident hater within our friend group was talking shit about Zion before he ever touched, like he even played a game, and. You know, it was fair criticism. You know, he didn't really play against anybody in high school. I mean, he absolutely dominated at Duke, but it's like, is he gonna be able to use that physical prowess in the NBA? And like you said, it was so amazing seeing him just like drive into like Rudy Gobert's chest and just goes into, and like Rudy Gobert go flying back, and he goes and dunk up on him. And like you can make crack man jokes you want about Rudy Gobert, but he's a phenomenal defensive center. For you to run at Rudy Gobert at the rim and just move him out the way and score. That is amazing. There's players bigger than him. There's centers who can't just like move Rudy out the way. So that like watching his first game, I can't remember what exactly his numbers were, but they were really good. Like he had like 20.
They were like he had like 20 points and like 8 or 9 rebounds in like 20 some minutes, like 24 minutes, shit like
super
that.
efficient too. I think he took like 13 shots and like only missed like 2. Like I think he went like 11 for 13 or something like that.
And I want to say he went like 3 for 3 from 3 as well.
Yeah,
That
he
first
didn't
game.
miss. Yeah, he didn't miss.
Yeah, they was
From-
like,
Didn't hit
from
another
outside.
rest season, but you know it'd be like that. Shouts out to the Duke legend. Shouts out to him.
that baseball player you brought up, John. You said he struck out 14 people in one game.
Yeah, his debut game, he struck out 14 batters.
Like I said, I don't know a lot about baseball, but I know enough to know that's some amazing shit.
Right.
14 people in your debut game. That's awesome. So DeLon, favorite debut ever?
Okay, I have 2 sports and 2 music. So since Jacquez brought up to seasons, I got no one. So for my first one, 32-year-old Andre Ingram on the Lakers.
I thought about that one too. I thought about that one too.
Dropped that 19, boy, feel good moment of the year. Get that boy a little 10-day. He played one more game after that. I was going to really cheat and say Jeremy Lin's Knicks actual debut game, but that was like his second season, so we ain't gonna say that. But other favorite sports debut is Minnesota legend Adrian Peterson.
Yes, sir. I thought about that too.
1,300 yards, rookie of the year.
Yes,
In his
sir.
8th game as a pro, he set the record for most rushing yards in a game ever with 296. Still stands to this day. Adrian Peterson, Vikings GOAT.
No cap.
So music. Music, we are going to say Acid Rap, I Am a Chance the Rapper, Acid Rap Appreciator. That is one of my probably 10 favorite mixtapes of the decade, despite the slander it gets. And albums, my favorite debut, Jordan knows it. I've talked about it many times on this podcast, Under Pressure by Logic. There's not a single thing wrong with that album to me at all. Still his best piece of work to this date. Man, both my favorite music always gets slandered, I guess. But yeah, Logic number one. It's too easy to say Kendrick, so we're definitely gonna go with Logic number one.
Let's say DeLon's is rocking the No Pressure hoodie as we speak right now. Like he ripping the set.
Yes, sir.
Under Pressure was a phenomenal debut album. I was as a fan of his mixtapes. I think the only mixtape I didn't like by him was like Welcome to Forever. I think the name of it was like the
Little
one.
Poppy.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. And then going into Under Pressure, I was like, okay, it's so cool to always see like the underground rappers that you like come out in their debut and like really kill it. And I was like, this is amazing. Like this is what I knew he could be. And I had high hopes for Logic going forward. Granted, I didn't too much care for any album after that, except towards like No Pressure and songs here and there from other various projects. But Under Pressure, the album was very good. Acid Rap was a mixtape that I didn't like the first time I heard it, mostly because of Chance's voice. But then after hearing him on like on other people's songs and getting used to his voice, I went back and listened to Acid Rap and I absolutely loved it. Like the writing on there is phenomenal. It's hard, like hearing his writing, not even just like the music, just listening to his lyrics. It's hard to believe the same person wrote Acid Rap as the person who wrote The Big Day.
Hot Shower.
Yeah,
I love my mom.
What's wrong with Hot Shower, John? John, what's wrong with Hot Shower, John? What's wrong with that song? Is there something wrong with that song, John?
No, hey, DeLon.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's called Kuzma.
Whoa.
Hey,
Kyle Kuzma's a wet blanket.
DeLon,
Jesus
you will be the
Christ.
only ones that like that song.
All right, all right.
Hey, I got a quick question. Because y'all would know better because he, regionally he's a little closer to y'all. But was Barter 6 Thug's debut album?
Yes, that's it. But see, I actually had this argument with somebody. Was you, DeLon? I had this conversation with somebody. I said Barter 6 was Young Thug's debut album, but then Young Thug turned around and said that what's the album he released last year that everybody liked? So Much Fun. He turned around and said So Much Fun was his debut album.
So Much Fun, yeah. He said that was his debut.
Oh, yeah. I do remember him saying that. Well,
yeah.
Fuck what that nigga say.
Because Barter 6 was his first commercially released album on streaming services and in stores. It can rock.
Yeah, but the Barter, if we count the Barter 5 as a debut album, that was a very, very, very good debut album. I feel like it really exemplified who Thug was and who he was going to be for like the next decade. So that's actually this album made me a fan. Like at that point, up to that point, I didn't really care for him. I'm like, okay,
same. I think that's most people.
Yeah,
like unless you were a Thug fan from the jump, Barter the Barter was the album that really everybody was like, hey, this nigga
Danny
kinda
Glover
good.
didn't really do it for me.
That's a wild name for album.
I mean, naming it Barter 5 was still funny as hell. Like, it's like, Wayne next album supposed to be in the Carter 5, so I want to name mine the Barter 5. And
Hey, it was Barter 6. He just said
Yeah, I was
fuck
about to
5.
say
He just
six.
skipped it.
It was Barter
He just
6.
skipped 5.
Oh, he did?
He said, hey, you can have 5. We don't go on.
Hey, that shit's so flagrant. I love it.
and I don't know, man. Shout out to Young Thug, though. Southern legend.
Shout out Jeffrey, man. Shout out.
All right, so let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, October playlist. What have you guys been listening to in the month of October? What have you talk to me, guys? What you guys been playing? What you been
I gotta check my.
I'll go first. I'm just get this out the way because I know the line gonna be on my head. So let me get this out the way now. I don't know if if everybody know, but I know most of y'all know that your boys from the murder men. You know what I'm saying? Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Detroit legend. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, and granted, I told the line it was not about music. It was about a personal thing that happened at LA Fitness with my little brother. So
that's a wild intro. That's wild.
Hey, I was an avid Sada Baby hater. I've been listening to that nigga Scuba Steve a lot lately, especially a whole lot of choppers, man.
Remix
But,
too?
definitely, I've definitely been rocking with Sada. I came around. I was like, hey, especially because I'm not a big Detroit rap person. I actually hate Detroit rap for part. So I was that was also something that kind of pushed me away from listening to him when he obviously he been around here forever, but when he started to get big nationally, I've been listening to a lot of Giveon, however you pronounce his name. I've been listening to a lot of him lately. That EP he dropped not too long ago is like when that first came out, that was like all I listened to. What else? Obviously Savage Mode 2. That I was listening to Savage Mode 2
everybody been listening to it.
I listen to Savage Mode 2 every day. But that's all I can think off the top of my head without looking at my phone. But I would definitely say I've been giving those three a lot of spins in the last month.
I need you. I'm glad you reminded me of Giveon. I just want to add that to my library. I heard only great things about that. I need to bump that. So in the past week, John, have you listened more to Whole Lot Choppers the original or Whole Lot Choppers remix? Which one have you heard more?
Man, honestly,
in the past week.
Honestly, I've been giving them both spins, but I'll probably say I've probably been listening to the remix because I'm not the biggest Nicki fan, but she snapped.
Nah, it
the
goes.
Queen snap. I might be a stand now. Call me Daniel.
Shout out to Daniel.
That's our day to shout out every other episode.
Oh man, Delon, what about you? What were you bumping in the month of October?
Man, everything I was waiting for did not disappoint me. So we started off the month with Savage Mode 2, of course. Anniversary by Bryson Tiller did not disappoint me. Thoughts? Yes? No? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Cool. So, Streams of Thought 3, I've been waiting on that for 4 months now. Jesus Christ, that got pushed back every other week. And Grant, it's coming out on Friday. And then it finally came out 3 months later. Was wonderful. Burden of Proof with Benny. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was about to say, I feel like the week that Streams of Thought, Streams of 3, Volume 3 actually came out, I feel like Grant didn't tell us it came out. Like, Grant was telling us every week, hey, thought this week, and I'll keep checking, and it was just like random one day I just happened to go on his page. I'm like, wait, Streams of Thought out? I'm like, why the hell Grant didn't tell me?
That boy is missing. But Burden of Proof, love Burden of Proof. I don't think it is as good as Plugs I Met, but man, the bar is high.
It's not.
Still great. Still listen to almost every track. There's not a skip on Plugs I Met, but hey, this is still my favorite. My
War
one
Paint
A
go crazy.
for Zelda this year. The what do?
I said that War Paint with
Oh
Westside,
yeah.
That War Paint go crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Surprisingly enough, I don't think I barely listened to that Benny album this month. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Like it just was not connecting with me. I don't know if it was like Hit Boy's production, which I thought was good. It kind of felt like the two just did not mix. They didn't sync completely. I think that just throwing me off.
It felt
The LA,
like
the,
it.
the LA Clippers line. The reason that nigga not listening.
I can't remember the name of it, but
Mm,
one song it's like he like not rapping on beat, and that shit like that shit was like weird to listen to at first. But like
Detroit nigga.
whoa, hold on, I'm a fan of the song. I'm like he like I'm trying to figure out like where the downbeat is. But outside of that,
No, but I think I spend most of my money. I listen to a lot of 21 Savage. I listen to some Anderson .Paak again. I've been like really listening to Yes Lord a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see it. I'm trying to remember who else. It's mainly been 20. I haven't been listening to like a lot of music, honestly. When somebody drops something, I listen to it, just check it out. I've been listening to Streams of Thought, like that Streams of Thought 3 when I did find out it was out. When I finally found out it was actually out, I did listen to it like for like a week and a half, like just nonstop. That's probably my favorite Streams of Thought so far from Black Thought. And I started listening to Ariana Grande's album after Delon suggested to me like a week ago.
That's what I know. I was forgetting to do something. I was like, damn, it's
it.
something I'm supposed to be listening to.
I enjoyed it, but that's all I've been listening to. It's been a slow week. It's been a slow month for me.
Also,
I've been listening to.
I forgot Pegasus. Shout out Trippie Redd. Canton Legend. Shout out that boy.
Jacqueline, what you been listening to?
The real sick guy.
I've been listening to. I've been listening to some Drake. I've been listening to. Of course, I've been listening to Benny. I actually started listening to some old Chris Brown. I was like, damn, this nigga got a lot of hits. Me and Meryl, this nigga got a lot of hits. And my car, it'd be streaming like random shit, and then Deuces came on. I was like, damn, I ain't heard this shit in a second. And I was like, you know what? Play Chris Brown best hits. And I just been streaming. I've been fucking with Chris Brown a lot lately.
Which Chris Brown album?
That and R&B.
Which Chris Brown album you think you listen to the most songs from? Like, and there's one
classic debut.
Like probably the debut. Yeah, probably the first one. The first one. Probably that's the only one I've used a classic. That's just me. But
I like Fortune. I love Fortune.
Because there's like certain albums like it might be an artist's best album, but like there's other albums in this catalog where I'll listen to more songs from it than I would from others.
But it's just singles with Chris Brown though. It's like it's just singles, like single after single after like he could. That's him. That's what he the singles king. So shit, that was most of what I was just doing.
Gotcha. I'm about to say, because like I was thinking about like Damn and Good Kid, Mad City. Like right now, I listen to more songs off of Damn than I do Good Kid, Mad City, even though I think Good Kid, Mad City is a better album. So I was just curious, what songs like were you predominantly listening to? What album were you like predominantly drawing songs from, like we're listening to? All right, we got one more topic left, and I actually had to switch topics up because I didn't realize we had more music topics than basketball topics. So I slid a new basketball topic in the last second. I think Delon will appreciate it. I want to talk to you guys about the number 1 overall draft pick, which belongs to the Timberwolves. Ooh. I want to talk to you guys about the number 2 overall draft pick, which belongs to the Warriors. It's been no surprise that these two teams, and it's been no secret these two teams have been shopping the pick. They've been trying to get Devin Booker. They've been trying to get Ben Simmons. They've been trying to get, I'm drawing a blank, there's somebody else. They've been trying to target Giannis. They've been trying to target a multitude of people, but that number 2 pick plus Wiggins is attractive enough, and that number 1 pick isn't sexy enough because there's no just dominant, the clear-cut dominant guy in this draft to really make them part of with someone like Ben Simmons and give up already. So the teams are struck out. Are these two teams stuck at the 1 and 2? Or is there a more realistic trade that doesn't include Ben Simmons, Devin Booker, Giannis that you guys could act and Bradley Beal? Bradley Beal doesn't seem like that's going to happen either. Is there a more realistic trade you think that would be attractive to the Warriors or to the Timberwolves?
Timberwolves.
Yeah. Or do you feel like you guys should stay where they at and just draft guys and just keep going?
Timberwolves, in my opinion, if they can't get Devin Booker, I think I like Anthony Edwards fit with the team. I feel like he's like a perfect blend of like the shot creating of Harden with like the explosiveness of Westbrook, but he also loves the game, wants to learn, he's really enthusiastic. I really like him as a prospect. I think the number 2, the Warriors, they could shop it for anything because the next best player if Timberwolves take what's name is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is gonna sell tickets wherever the fuck he goes just because of his name and his brand and what he's been able to do on the court. I think that that they should shoot for somebody if they can't if they're not going to draft like the biggest name to trade his ass, they should definitely try to go for a big man, either a Kugel or Wiseman. But as far as trades, I don't know. I don't really know any big men that you would just, that are worth because that's what they need. That's what they lack is a big man and probably, I guess, a 3. You could look for a 3.
Yeah,
I don't really know nobody who could fit their style of play.
I don't think there's a 3 that's available that's worth the number 2 pick, and like I don't think there's a center that's available that's worth the number 2 pick. Like
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they'd be overpaying for a guy if they traded for anybody with that pick, unless it was someone like Joel Embiid, which you're not getting Joel Embiid for Wiggins in the damn number 2 pick. Like it's just a huge discrepancy in like who's available and who isn't, and what you can get with those picks. So go ahead.
I'll say this, Delon, I hate it for y'all because I feel like if we didn't know about Bubble Devin Booker, I really feel like y'all would have had a good chance if y'all gave up Michael Beasley in that first pick for Devin Booker.
As soon as that shit happened, I knew it was over. As soon as that happened.
I was like, damn, they probably got a good chance to get that nigga. Then I was like, Booker became untouchable in the bubble.
Also, Ben Simmons getting hurt and not playing in the playoffs and failing in the playoffs, because if he went to the playoffs and he did a repeat of what he did last season, where he just standing underneath the goal, getting 0 points, like 5 assists and 5 rebounds, if he did that again in the playoffs, then the Sixers might have been very inclined to move on from him. Even if they fired Brett Brown, they still might have traded him. Just like there's just no salvaging this guy if he's gonna just not do anything in a playoff game. So, but now the fact that he got hurt, they were like, well, he got hurt. Let's give him and Embiid another chance together. So that screwed it up. So DeLon, at this point, number 1 pick.
I still see the Sixers as an option. Not as much Devin Booker, definitely the Wizards, but I still see the Sixers as an option because in a team that needs to build around Joel Embiid, we have the first pick, the 20th pick, and I think they have the 19th pick. And a lot of those guards in the draft are going to be dropping a little bit. So the Sixers could potentially draft a guard, get somebody they actually want with that first pick, and then they actually still have their pick. They could even leverage this 19th and 20th for somebody else. But I still see that one as possible. It's just that whole Doc Rivers X factor. Who knows?
If the only way that happens if it's like trade deadline, like it's not gonna happen on draft night, because they're gonna want to. They're gonna want to give Doc a chance to see if he can make those 2 work before it's like, all right, Doc can't make them work. Let's go ahead and bring somebody else in. But so as of right now, DeLon, you're expecting to draft Anthony Edwards with number 1 draft pick and keep him as of right now. Is that what you're expecting going into draft night? That's fair assumption. I think you're going to do that. The Warriors might trade back, and they might draft that guy whose name starts with an O that you said.
Oh yeah, Kugel.
Yeah, I can see them possibly doing that. Big O. Yeah, I can see them possibly doing that. I think if they do draft somebody, I think it's gonna be Wiseman. I don't think there's no point in like drafting what's his name? Ball. If they really felt like Ball was, first of all, they don't need to sell tickets because they got Curry first and foremost.
Facts.
So like they're gonna sell out anyway because of him. So they don't have to worry about that fact. But it's more so the fit. They already tried like the 3-guard fit, and I know he's like labeled as a small forward, but I really think that he's really gonna be like a big guard. And I think they would rather, instead of inserting Ball into that 3-man spot, I think they're gonna try to get a veteran to play that spot. And because like I said, the D'Lo, Clay, and Curry experiment pretty much showed them like this ain't it. Nah, this isn't it at all. So
you know what's gonna happen? Them niggas gonna fuck around and get when Giannis leave Milwaukee next season after they get their ass whooped in the first round.
All right, man.
The Bucks gonna blow it up. Bucks gonna blow it up. Chris Middleton Warriors. Heard it here first. Yeah,
no sir.
You said Chris Middleton to the Warriors?
Yup. Because he's gonna have low value because niggas ain't fucking with him. Warriors gonna be just give him without any fucking and get his ass.
Draymond. Andrew Wiggins.
Draymond, go for it.
Oh no,
he's not good enough for you to build around.
Oh no,
Andrew Wiggins, honestly.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins for Chris Middleton. Who says no? I don't think any team gets better, but yeah.
Hey, I know where I think I know where Melo going.
I laugh a lot.
Where do you think Melo going? No, the Hornets. Detroit.
Yes, sir.
What pick does Detroit have?
They they gonna have to do some work to get to do it. But so hey man, all I know is that LaMelo Ball has been in the state of Michigan too much for him not to come to Detroit. I've seen LaMelo Ball with these two eyes in my head. This nigga, him and LiAngelo have been in Michigan too much for something, because the niggas from LA, bro. What you come to Michigan for, bro?
Grandma live in Michigan.
John, you still
granddad live in Michigan.
John, you still didn't answer my question. What pick do the Detroit Pistons have?
I said they got 7 or 8.
Oh no, they ain't getting
7 or 8.
They ain't getting balled in.
They have to trade up, but they ain't got shit to trade up with because Christian Wood is probably the best player that niggas actually want.
I
guess Blake Griffin. I guess you could trade Blake Griffin because I don't think they want to feature Blake Griffin. I guess.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying context clues, man.
Hold on, let me see. I see the vision, John. I really do. Let me see. NBA draft lottery.
It's 7 or 8. I think it might be.
I want to say 7. I think 7. I think it's 7.
It's one of the two. It's 7 or 8.
If you're the Hornets, do you trade back? You take Blake Griffin and the number 7 pick. Do you take that?
But like, so my thing about
hell
that
yeah.
Is like,
oh hell yeah.
I mean, because like what? Because they I mean, granted, it's Terry Rozier. You know, they ain't shit really. But I mean, but like, I the only upside to taking Melo is like, you know, for like tickets, I guess. Even though, you know, we're in this weird, you know, 2020, but like outside of that, nigga don't fit. Like it would not be a fit. Like
I mean, they just moved Rozier. They probably what's buddy from Kansas, Jordan? I'm drawing a blank. Devontae Graham.
Yeah.
If anything, they make a fit around because LaMelo's obviously better than both them niggas will ever be.
If you think
they'll definitely make that fit.
Yeah, if you think.
I mean, but my thing is they could trade back. Well, no, because he probably wouldn't be available by then. Because I was gonna say, because I mean, I think.
Hold that thought.
Honestly, if I'm Charlotte, man, I like Obi.
Obi Toppin?
Yeah.
Jacquez.
Fuck no, that nigga is not like that. He's not like that.
I'm not saying he is, but his stock has risen in the last year.
Yeah. PJ Washington is just as good as that nigga right now. I promise you that. But what you would say, Jordan?
I don't argue that. I'm saying if I'm Charlotte. I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying if I'm Charlotte. And plus, it's Charlotte. Them niggas always fuck up. Come on now. Like you give them too much credit.
No, that's not gonna work. I was about to say if the Charlotte was dumb enough to take Obi Toppin at 3rd, and then you got 2 being James Wiseman, number 1 being Anthony Edwards, and then Ball falling to 4. 4 is Chicago. With Chicago interested in getting Blake Griffin. But then, like I said, they already got Lauri Markkanen. So what do you do with Markkanen? You can't just move him to the 5. I don't think he's good enough rim protector and stuff for that. So you can't.
They still got Wendell Carter. They got Wendell Carter at the 5 too.
You know what I'm saying? So it'd be a weird fit. So that I don't know.
LaMelo's not gonna fall that far though, because he's the biggest name in the draft. He definitely not gonna.
Yeah, and someone asked you, Jack, but the question I was gonna have was, who is a player outside those the projected top 3? Anthony Edwards, what's his name? Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, and LaMelo Ball. Who is your dark horse to actually become a star outside of those 3 in this draft?
I like this guard from France. His name is Killian Hayes. Great shot creating ability.
He's nice.
Definitely a NBA style guard. This guy from Alabama, his name is Kyra. I can't think of his last name. Point guard for Alabama, really, really good. Can shoot the ball. Tyrese Maxey from Kentucky. Like all 3 of them are guards, and all 3 of them can fucking ball. And I feel like they're gonna slip to like the late teens, like right outside the lottery, like 15 to like 22-ish range. And they're all gonna end up being like really, really, really good guards in the NBA, especially with this style NBA. So those are my 3 people. I can't really pick a favorite out of those 3, but all 3 of them are really.
Plus this draft is really weak.
That's weekend. That's something I wanted to point out to you earlier, Jordan. The fact that this is like probably like the weakest draft, and then like a weak ass free agency class.
Yeah,
I feel like this is kind of like the perfect time for this whole pandemic shit. Like for them, like the season to be kind of weird because nobody's really like just losing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to remember this guy's name. God bless Cole Anthony. He had so much hype at the beginning of the year.
He did.
It's funny to hear you.
It's perfect for the Sixers to take a 19.
Damn, 19. He gonna fall that far?
Hey man, I looked at a couple mock drafts this morning. They were not kind to Cole Anthony.
No, because he's basically Cole Anthony's like 6'2", athletic guard, but he's a score first guard, but he's not the score first. Like, to be a score first guard in today's NBA, you can't be a driver. You have to be a shooter.
Okay.
And he's just not that.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Did you get back in, Jordan? You froze for a long time.
No. That's fair. I'm here. But that's all I got, guys. You guys have any closing thoughts, ideas?
I do want to get y'all's thoughts on this. I seen Cleveland not fucking with your boy John, big man. I can't think of his name. Andre Drummond. Not fucking with Drummond.
Oh my god.
Not fucking with Drummond. And what's his face? Gordon Hayward not fucking with the Celtics. Trade for the two. Get that contract out there. Try it out for the Celtics. Anybody say no? Starting five of Kemba, Brown, Tatum, Drummond, because they finally have that interior force that they need. And then if it doesn't work out, that nigga only got 1 year left on his contract. He gone out the door. Then you try to shoot for Giannis.
Yeah, I think the only person. I mean, I don't like team wise. I don't think in my personal. I mean, because if they're still able to keep like those rotational bigs, like Dice and like what's that nigga name? Williams, like Robert Williams. Like there's some
Williams. You can entice is a backup bigger center anyways.
Gordon Hayward kind of
had a weird fit with the team.
I'm saying if you're able to keep them, I mean because Andre Drummond is not a rim protector. So I mean so if you keep one of those guys to protect the rim, I don't, like I said, team wise, I don't see why any team would say no outside of because he'd be he opted.
The money will match.
He opted into his contract. But shit, I think the only nigga that say no is Gordon Hayward. Who the fuck want to go to Cleveland?
I mean, he can't say no if it's a trade.
Choice. Yeah, it's a trade. He can't say no.
I know what I'm saying. I'm saying team wise, nobody's saying no. But I'm saying the only nigga who ain't gonna like it is Gordon Hayward.
Rest in peace, Bozo. He doesn't even complain.
He'll fit in though. He'll fit in. It's a red state. You know what I'm saying? He'll be nice at home.
Exactly. That's what I was. Jordan, Delon, either y'all say no to that trade, and do you think it'll put the Celtics over that hump?
I don't even put them over the hump.
And do you think it'll change the?
Hell no, Andre Drummond suck, bro. Fuck that nigga.
I don't think it'll put him over the hump. I think that Andre Drummond is way too expensive for what he does. And
not shit.
I seen that they were like looking at Oladipo and Turner, like they could potentially move Hayward for one of those guys. I think it pay them bigger dividends at a cheaper price.
Turner would be nice.
I mean, but you probably wouldn't even have to give up Gordon Hayward for Drummond just because the Cavaliers got that nigga for next to nothing. I don't even know what they gave. I honestly, the nigga was just on the team one day. I don't even know what the Cavs gave. Like, to be completely honest with you.
That just speaks volumes to how low his value is. So yeah, I would probably give up Hayward for Turner. Like that probably who I'd be eyeballing because Turner's going to actually bring what they need, which is a defensive big. And their problem is I don't think the Celtics really struggle with rebounding, which is Drummond's calling card. And he ain't just really that prolific at scoring around the rim to be like, yeah, he's a real low post presence. So I think it'd be good if they had someone like Turner who can like block shots and rebound, and I think he's actually pretty good at like moving his feet and like guarding on the perimeter a little bit too. So yeah, I would definitely if I'm the Celtics, I don't Drummond. I don't think that fits.
I like Turner more, but I do think that Andre Drummond gets them over the hump because as of right now, the hump is the Miami Heat. So yeah, I think Drummond gets them over the Miami Heat hump.
Okay, that's fair.
Hey, this boy DeLon loves smoking that Miami pack.
I mean, that's what I'm about. This is a compliment.
I'm just saying, like Bam Adebayo run wild on the Celtics.
Oh God, he was. Like, he was killing them niggas up. But damn.
I mean, Andre Drummond is better than who? Kelly Olynyk? Like who? No, he's on. I don't like who. Who's on the Celtics? It would. I don't know, but I feel like he'd be better in the situation. But I feel like Miles Turner would be the best option.
I ain't gonna hold y'all.
But I really feel like the Celtics are not.
Oh, I was gonna say Adebayo would eat Drummond alive. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I really think that
You would.
He would eat Drummond alive, but he'd have to work for it.
I'll say this, Jordan.
He'd have to work for it.
Drummond has never been in a winning situation. Yes, he's not he's Drummond puts up crazy numbers. You know, he does what he do. He's gonna put up his little 18 and his 12 and 12 or whatever the fuck he puts up. But I mean, you know, he's never been in a winning culture, so you know, like,
he stinks.
Might see a change in him, man.
The Heat. The Heat sold the 7, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, Andre Drummond is an upgrade. Though. It's in, like if Andre
no. It was six. Really, them niggas need to get rid of the Kimba. That nigga, that's who was thinking it up in the playoffs. That boy was out there looking like Ty Lawson. That nigga's playing like Ty Lawson out there, bro. I don't want to hear it.
He was getting hurt.
Yeah, he was. But
what was he hurt with?
It was his knee. Like he been having fluid in his knee.
Leg injury. He was playing hurt.
He been having fluid in his knee like towards the end of that season. But that's the problem with Kimba, and that's why like Jordan didn't want to give him that bag. He was like, he was a small guard. He started to get hurt a lot.
30.
Yeah, so yeah,
I see the vision, Jordan. I'm sorry for down you, GOAT. My bad. I should have known. I talked some high shit about you last season, but I understand that.
Like I said, like I was always on. It was always on some like I get why Jordan doing it because you paid Kimba this.
Oh yeah, we all understood it.
Yeah,
we all understood it.
And then nigga legs break down, he be looking crazy. But then people be like, oh look, Jordan not a good he had a good owner.
I was about to say, was that his first good move as owner?
Hell no.
Yes.
Hell no. If he signed Terry Rozier to replace him.
That's facts.
That's facts. Damn, that's facts.
But all right. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Papa the Man Podcast. Tune in next week for another episode of your favorite podcast. See you then.